Hey guys, this is Mad Talk Wrestling Reviews and this is SmackDown Review, and let's see what the first episode of 2018 for SmackDown was like. Was it phenomenal, like AJ Styles, or was it as flat as Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable entering the ring? So we started off the show with the champ himself, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And he pretty much said that 2017 was phenomenal, but he's going to make it even more phenomenal in 2018. And he's going to hold the championship to WrestleMania, and he's going to hold it beyond. He's going to say he's going to main event WrestleMania. And it was good. It was a good way to kick off the show. Obviously, it was nice to see the champ, the face of the company, coming out and starting off the first episode of a new year. And it was awesome. Obviously, then he talked about what happened last week. Shane O'Mac comes out. This was the irritational thing with Shane O'Mac. Again, Shane O'Mac's at the beginning of the show, and he gets involved, and it was, for me, not needed. Saying that tonight's main event was going to be AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn with Kevin Owens at the side of the ring, and Shane O'Mac announced he's going to be in there. Daniel Bryan was also out at this point. Said, well, Shane, if you're going to be out, why don't I be out? So he was outside the ring, announcing that he's going to be outside the ring as well, watching on. And that was fine. It was a good way to start the show. Obviously, we've seen too much Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan. Unless they're going to announce that these two are going to have a match at WrestleMania. For me, I'm getting a little bit bored. But this feud, which they're building up with AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, is working out quite well. So that's still entertaining. And our first match of the night was a championship match, which was the Usos taking on the number one contenders, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Massive difference between the entrances. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin had no real atmosphere when they entered the ring, but the Usos are so loved when they come out, and it's brilliant. And it was an interesting match itself. The match was very controversial, if I must say. You had a false finish, which was great, a brilliant false finish, but the match itself was so hard hitting. It looked like Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin had won the titles. They got the pin, they got the free pin. The referee holds them, gives them the titles. Then another referee comes out. The Usos are arguing with the referee in the ring. This next referee comes out, shows him a replay, and shows that neither Chad Gable and Jimmy were tagged in at the time, and they were the two from getting the pin and the pinny. So both guys, the match was restarted and started again, and the Usos came out with the win. It was a great back and forth, super kick. It was a super kick party, guys. Kicked Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in the face and was victorious. And that was a good way to continue the feud between the two teams. But for me, personally speaking, you can definitely see that there's a difference between them, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, compared to a team like Rusev and Aiden English, who are very much over as we speak. And then we had another tag team match, and it was the Bludgeon Brothers taking on Breezango again. But this time there was a bit of a quick change. It was a quick match because the Bludgeon Brothers attacked Breezango before the match even started. That caused the Ascension to run out. The Ascension tried to help their friends and got them out of the ring, because obviously the Ascension and Breezango are best friends. Best friendship ever. And then the Ascension got literally destroyed by the Bludgeon Brothers, which was quite interesting. And that was it. The Bludgeon Brothers was celebrating a victory, even though it wasn't a victory. It was just literally they destroyed two teams at the same time. but it makes the Bludgeon Brothers feel like a big threat to destroy 2 tag teams at the same time. And it gives these 2 tag teams who aren't doing anything in the main event of a tag team division something to do, and it's a good storyline to work on as well. In our next match of the night was the third match of the first round of the United States tournament match. We had Xavier Wood taking on Aiden English. Now, Aiden English is riding the coattails of Rusev Day, and it works. He was very much over. The New Day were over. 2 very popular kind of wrestlers right now as we speak. And the New Day are just pretty much always popular, but Aiden English, I think this is the first time in a lot since the Von Villains came out, where he's been very much over with the crowd. And it was a decent match. The guy who I expected to win got the win. Xavier Wood got the win. It was, Rusev didn't get involved in the match as much as I thought he would do. It was a pretty decent, clean match between the 2 guys, and it was not much to say. The New Day were trying to lick the US title, which was a bit weird, but apart from that, decent match. It feels right that Aiden English didn't win the singles match. Xavier Wood does feel a little bit better than him, but definitely an entertaining first round match. And you saw Jinder Mahal watching because he's going to take on the victor. So it's Jinder Mahal versus Xavier Wood, which will be interesting because you'll have the Singh brothers and Big E and Kofi outside the ring. So we could see something quite interesting coming up in the next few days between these 2. Could build up a new rivalry between these guys. Then we had a 6-women tag team match where we had the Riott Squad taking on the Welcome Committee, which it was Natalya, Tamina and Carmella. And to be honest with you guys, it was a poor match for the women's division. It just didn't live up to anything interesting. Like, you see Absolution, they are a lot more entertaining compared to the Riott Squad. I keep saying this, and I don't want to say this because I am a big fan of Ruby Riott in the NXT scene, but when she came up to the main roster, it hasn't worked out as well. But the match itself was very much hit and miss. There were bits in that match where you saw people flying, flapping around when there was no contact, and it was very obvious in pretty much Carmella's part when she was taking on Liv Morgan. It was very, very, very poorly structured between the 2, and we had the Riott Squad get another win, so that's quite good. Give the Riott Squad, make them feel a bit intimidating for the Royal Rumble, because obviously they have entered the Women's Royal Rumble match, which is cool. It makes sense. They are a big faction in SmackDown, so it makes sense that they've entered as well, like Absolution has. Liv Morgan Sarah Logan got the win. She got the win, which over Tamina, which was like, yeah, you're taking possibly for me the 2 weakest links of both factions. I hate to say, I know Tamina's a powerhouse, and Sarah Logan's meant to be a powerhouse in both factions, but it just doesn't work for me for those 2. But that's not the important thing. We had the Queen of SmackDown Live, Charlotte Flair, at least make it entertaining this segment, and that's because she came out and she said, well, girls, you think that that everyone here lives in a fantasy, but you only believe in reality. So here's reality for you. Take someone out, they're gonna want to get revenge on you. And we had Naomi come out, and that was awesome. So you had the Glow and the Queen together, and we've seen that a few times where we've seen the 2 baby faces taking on the Riott Squad. And then we had the Irish ass kicker herself, Becky Lynch, coming out. A big pop for Becky Lynch. She pretty much took out Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan with Beck's Spoders, and they were cool, and that was awesome. And then you had the 3 baby faces in the center of the ring, like, yeah, we're gonna take on all you guys, and that was awesome. It was a saving grace to a very poor match itself. And that takes us to our main event, where we had the phenomenal AJ Styles, I don't know why I keep doing it like that, versus Sami Zayn. And to be honest, guys, it was a decent match. There's no contest really. Sami Zayn, very, very talented wrestler. AJ Styles, a very talented wrestler. So it's kind of obvious that you're gonna get a good match. The match itself, there wasn't as much messing about with Kevin Owens at the side of the ring, just like last week when we had Sami not really getting as much interference in the match as I was expecting. And to be honest, there was only a little bit where it looked like AJ had pinned Sami, but the referee got knocked out of the ring and Kevin kind of got in his way, but it was kind of not like, definitely obvious that Kevin was doing it on purpose, but it was like Kevin was like, oh, you're alright, just checking on him, and the referee's trying to get out of his way and he's telling him to move so he can get the free pin, and there's Shane O'Mac like, come on, in the background. And to be honest, the one which was quite interesting watching outside the ring, because obviously you had Kevin Owens, you had Shane O'Mac, but Daniel Bryan was very, very, very much straight faced. He didn't show any emotion either on AJ's side or Sami's side. He was very much like, no, I'm not going to show any favoritism to either side here, because that's what Shane thinks. And that's the obvious case. Everyone thinks Daniel Bryan is favorite. Shane's obsessed thinking that Daniel's favorite, making Sami and Kevin his favorites. Well, Daniel's trying to be in the middle, make everything fair. And after KO getting in the way of a referee, Shane O'Mac pretty much orders the referee to kick him out. So Kevin's going mental. He's like, I haven't done anything wrong. I was just checking on the referee. Daniel gets really annoyed as well because, like I said, KO did not get into the match as much as what people expect. Well, Shane expected, and Daniel went, well, in that case, Shane, you can leave as well. Shane looks a bit shocked. KO then interfered into the match. Sami Zayn, a Luma kick to the face, pins AJ Styles. AJ loses again, and AJ just goes mental. This is 2 weeks on the track now where he's lost to both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, thanks to Shane O'Mac pretty much getting involved into his match. And he takes the mic and he says, look, I'm sick of you two bickering like children. If this is how it's going to be, I want a handicap match. I want to take on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together. If this is how it's going to be sorted, then I'm going to do it. I mean, Daniel's like, perfect idea, AJ. That's how we're going to have our main event for Royal Rumble. You in a handicap match for the WWE title. And yeah, that was a good match. It was with lots of ups and downs, and it was very entertaining as well. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown for the new year, the first episode of 2018, and it was quite an entertaining match. Yes, there's not much storyline. Obviously, everyone's getting prepared for the Royal Rumble, but for me, it was entertaining. The main event was always going to be good because, let's be honest, it's AJ Styles and Sami Zayn. Both very talented. And for me, this is the perfect way for Sami. If he finally gets the title, this is the perfect way of him doing it. Yes, we all know if Sami becomes champion, he's just going to hold it for a small period of time until AJ Styles wins the title back off him. But it would be entertaining as hell. Pretty much the excitement with the Women's Royal Rumble, now that we know it's 30 Women Royal Rumble, was pretty much exciting. Now we're talking about legends coming back and NXT stars coming back. And even the Usos tag team match, which was a bit odd for me, felt like a brilliant match. So yeah, there you go, guys. Tell me what you thought. Did you think last night's episode of SmackDown Live was any good? Do you think it was just mediocre, or did you think it was a bad one and Raw was the better show? Put it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe. You can follow me on the old Twitter if you want, at Boise88. And I'll see you guys on the next Smack Talk Wrestling review.